course, some people, again, based on what I call electronic lawyers. We see them every day commenting freely and sometimes pronouncing with managerial finality their own judgment on cases that have not been argued before them. They have also found it convenient to argue that the total number of broadcasts was now in excess of the total accreditation. Of course, once you, as they say, once you lie once, you will need a series of lies to sustain the first lie. Truth be told, as they conveniently ignore these 388 units, they also, by the same reason, ignore the accredited voters in those units. In fact, between the returning officer of the governorship election in Imo State and INEC, and then the judges at the tribunal and the judges at the Court of Appeal level, the majority judges, they have more or less exercised these 388 units as if those parts are not in Imo State. Because unless they amend the Constitution and redraw the geography of Imo State as to exclude the people that voted in these units, I believe that those judges have more questions, more answers to some questions that Nigerians are entitled to ask, particularly now in the face of the judgment by the Supreme Court. So I believe, and I want to repeat it whether anybody believes it or not, what is important to me and to my party, where the chips are down, is where the truth lies. The interest of the Nigerian nation and the need to service our democracy is far more important than the interest of any political party, and certainly the interest of any individual governorship aspirants or candidate, whether it's of the APC, or it's of the PDP, or it's of ABGA, or indeed any other political party. He is ready to pull down the democratic edifice once it doesn't deliver to them. When I watch their former presidential candidate, former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, talking about Nigeria democracy in danger, making a substantiated allegation about interfering with the judiciary, I said Atiku is the least competent person to so speak. Atiku Abubakar is on record as having manipulated INEC and judiciary to remove Hashidu, who was elected in Bauchi on AMPP platform because, yes? Gombe. Because at the end of the result, his boss, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, said Atiku has lost his base. He lost the senatorial seat, and now he lost his own governorship in his own state, and he lost so much in Northeast. Atiku, in response, as you will remember, manipulated all institutions such that Professor Jibril Aminu, who is already on record, and I speak with authority on this because we have the newspapers, he had already congratulated the man who defeated him as a senator. And there are stories as to between 100 and 110 million was expended for those who lost, who have been given certificate by INEC to voluntarily return the certificate, not through the court of law, by saying we have been well paid. We accept that we are losers. That is how Aminu returned to the Senate. Senator Zigwina is still alive. He had already considered defeat. By the same logic, Senator Zigwina returned to the Senate. And the man who was defeated, who won the election, also considered, and so on and so forth. But bad examples cannot be the basis for making progress. We are not about to copy him. But it's important that we remind Nigerians that talking about electoral fraud, talking about manipulating the institutions of democracy, that Atiku cannot be the advocate. He contributed his own bit to undermining we need to remind people of their roles in history so that when they talk, they shouldn't talk as if Nigerians don't have memory. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is in print and electronic media where he said publicly that he regretted that the instructions his then boss, President Obasanjo, gave him. He regretted that he did not carry out that ruthless rigging that would have made Lagos to become part of PDP. He regretted because he has now fell out of favor with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said these things publicly. And I think the media, whenever you report us, report what we have said before, so that the readers can make up their mind about the value to place of the statement that we make. I hope that you will not also forget to continue to remind Nigerians that elaborate interview, thanks to Channels Television, that Senator Matu, then Deputy Senate President, narrated in an interview with Channels Television how between himself, Obasanjo, Atiku, how they used to rig elections. He taught Nigerians how to rig elections, how he was used and others to rig elections, to keep PDP in power. For God's sake, in moments like this, and in order to teach all of us lessons, you should play back these tapes so that Nigerians know who they should listen to when they talk and who they should not to. And if they must listen because they have no choice, when you put on your radio or your television or you pick a newspaper, you have no choice about what you read or hear, but you have a choice as to who to believe and the weight to place on statements made by anyone. I want to thank you very much for coming to this press conference. And I do appreciate that we call it at a very short notice. And I want to assure you, for us, Nigeria is much more than the sum total of all the political parties. So our first commitment is to the Nigerian nation before any other consideration. Thank you very much.